Okay, hi Nigel, it's Roger Clark here from Sky Sports News. Thanks for speaking to us. You've gone through the various phases of the restart. Now the first game back is almost upon you. Are you as ready as you can be at this stage going back into the restart of the Premier League?
Yeah, I think for everybody, there's had to be very much an element of dealing with the time frame that we've been given, whether it's the right time frame or not. It's no longer something really to spend a lot of time talking about. I mean, we have picked up one really serious injury a couple of weeks ago. Isaac Success has ruptured his Achilles, and I think it's one of the things that everybody will probably experience a little bit more. We have to understand that there might be a greater injury risk. Having said that, I've been delighted with how the players have both returned to training, but also embraced the need for us to get back to game situations as quick as possible, given the circumstances that we're working within. So, for me, it's not a case of now looking for negatives. We're in a situation now where we deal with the situation because our own future, and we want to make sure that we do everything that we can to retain our Premier League status, and that's really the top and bottom of it as far as we're concerned. It's a circumstance which I don't think anybody at the start of the season would have remotely been prepared for, and of course it's been an ever-evolving situation in which if you've got a fixed mindset in terms of what things should look like, possibly that's not the right way to go about it. So the flexibility of the mental state of players and staff alike is very, very important, because the preparation is what it is. We've not been given an awful lot of time, and of course the authorities have had to adjust as you go along. So the stage one didn't last for very, very long. Quickly into the games. But if you speak to any of the players and the mood around our camp in particular, I can't speak for other people, but it's been very, very positive. We've dealt with players coming back at different times, but again, we're very, very comfortable with that, just based on our original stance as a football club, and that is to give people the opportunity to take part when they feel that it's safe to. And that's really what it's been about more than anything, is creating an environment in which the players feel able to commit to what is a relegation battle for us.
You mentioned there the potential for injury. We saw Arsenal come back and suffer a couple very early on. When you saw that, and a lot of people had mentioned that it was a possibility, did that set alarm bells ringing in terms of your squad and the matches that you've got to get through over the next few weeks?
See, because I've just moved into a flat and I don't have Sky, so I've heard about it. But it's not something that I think any manager or coach wants to experience, and certainly to pick up injuries. So I know one of them was a contact or a twist, so it's probably not one that you could apportion to preparation time necessarily. So you do get contact. You never avoid contact injuries in sport. I mean, that's part and parcel of it. But I think soft tissue injuries are something that we're all slightly concerned about. But again, we're all in a very, very similar situation. I think if our mindset is to concentrate very much on the negative aspects of this, I don't think we'll get very far very quickly. So we're aware of what the risks are, but I think the commitment of people within the industry to at least try and get the game back moving is very, very important. And yeah, I mean, I've made my position very clear from the outset. And my initial thoughts, and I still hold the thoughts now, is that what I don't expect us to be is a political tool. But we all, when we work in this industry, we want it to both thrive during good times, but when we experience difficult situations, I think it's very important that there is a commitment to try and maintain the integrity of this sport in this country, and that goes way beyond the Premier League. So, you know, I think there is a recognition, just because if you look at the EFL is going to be who would really would rely more on gate receipts. It's going to be a very, very difficult journey for a lot of us. So, for a lot of football clubs, and you know, it's more than just getting this product up and running. It's about the well-being of the sport and the industry.
Of course, we come back, be playing behind closed doors. We look at your record that you had at home this season, the teams you've beaten: Liverpool, Manchester United, you've taken points against other top sides, Spurs, Wolves, Sheffield United, Arsenal, and so on. Everyone's going to be in the same boat behind closed doors, but do you feel that you might be at a particular disadvantage, given that it appears that you really do seem to get a boost from playing in front of those home fans?
Well, that's a different sort of question to what it might have been at the start of December. So, where we've struggled to win games at home, I think I'm not waste a great deal of time and energy going through an argument that actually no longer has any relevance. What we've got to do is just deal with the situation. And the situation is that our stadium is going to be the same as every other stadium. No supporters, which is a real shame. And I mean, let's be honest, this game is for the supporters. But what we've got to do is try and negotiate this period while it's not possible, to keep our status in the Premier League. I can't waste any energy on thinking about other things. My job and our job in terms of preparing the players, and as I've already said, the players have been excellent in getting on with and being very resilient in dealing with a set of circumstances which aren't necessarily ideal. But, you know, we're playing at home, we're playing against a very good side. It would be nice to have our own fans here, but they're not. So it's how you're able to deal with the situation. And hopefully our players will be able to isolate all the emotion side of it and just deal with a sterile environment. You know, we're not overly keen on all this. You know, I don't know whether you like American comedy shows. I can't stand them with canned laughter. So we don't really intend to be trying to create some sort of an environment where there is a forced atmosphere. We have to deal with our own situation and know that our fans are actually very much behind us. We know that anyway. We're a club that has an identity in the community. I think how the club has supported the local community pandemic has been very, very good. So look, we don't. All I'm saying is we just deal with the situation as it transpires, as it develops. But every club is in the same situation. We've got to just try and win as many games as possible and deal with what is an unusual set of circumstances, for sure.
Okay, hi Nigel.
Hello there.
You mentioned obviously the injury to Success.
Yeah.
What the other team news? Where are we at with Troy Deeney, with Deulofeu? Are they fit and ready to go? How far is Deulofeu off?
Deulofeu won't be available for the rest of this season. Yeah, he won't be available this season. You know, he's got a serious knee injury, cruciate, so he's not going to be available for us. Jan Matt won't be available this season either. But everybody else, more or less, is available. So we've tried to prepare the players at a pace which really does reflect very much where they are themselves. So, like I've already pointed out, the players came back in I don't know what that was, in good condition, and we had players who rejoined us at different stages based on their own feelings. But during that time, some of those players at that point had one-to-one training sessions, so they've been integrated back in, and we've at least had the last 2 weeks where the squad have really been together, and it's allowed us to work at a pace which is, we think we're as well prepared as we can be given the circumstances.
Is Troy Deeney ready to play?
Yeah, he's as ready as everybody else is. Yeah, for sure. Good. So he's available for selection.
It's good news. Ben Foster signed a new contract last week. Just how important a role has he got at the club going forward?
Well, he's a performer first and foremost. He's certainly in my short time here, he's been a big player for us in terms of his performances. On top of that, his character is very, very. He's a strong character. He's very visible, positive person. You know, all those things together. It's about being a performer first and foremost, of course, and forget the number, which is his age. It's about the player's ability to replicate performances of a high standard. He's certainly done that for us, for sure. So I'm delighted that his hard work has been rewarded.
How do you feel about facing Leicester? How would you assess the season that they've had so far?
Well, they've had a very, very good season so far. And good squad of players, a very stable football club, with a manager with an awful lot of ambition and ability. So, look, we know what they're about. We know they have talented individuals, but they are a very effective team as well. And the very fact that they are where they are in the league at the moment, I think, speaks volumes about how to. So, yeah, well, it's a tough game, but the emphasis for us, of course, is our own situation and our own circumstances, and that's what it's about. It's about concentrating on how we can best prepare ourselves to try and win this game. Thanks, Nigel. Good luck. Yeah, thank you.
You mentioned there about facing your old team, Leicester. A lot of people say the foundations for their champions' success was laid by you.
Do they? Look, come on. I mean, this is. I understand why you're asking the question. If that's the case, great. But look, at the moment, my absolute focus is on trying to achieve, or for us to achieve, retaining our status. And at the moment, nothing else is really important. I've spent 2 spells as manager at Leicester, and had success in both periods and enjoyed my time there. But in all honesty now, of course, and I don't think anybody at Leicester would expect me to say anything different, my focus is here totally. And so I still have ex-colleagues who I've got an awful lot of respect for. I have a lot of respect for the football club as well, of course, and the people who both own and run it. And I know my place in the story, and that's really what it's about. I mean, for me, I'm now I'm at a different club. I've got a different challenge, and I really am doing everything I can to find my own way here as well. So Yeah, look, it's Leicester have been a big part of my managerial career for sure. I have an awful lot of respect for them, but now my job is to do what I can to firstly achieve what we need to achieve this season, and then moving forward, hopefully build something here as well.
You said earlier that you hadn't been given an awful lot of time to prepare. No clubs have been given an awful lot of time from moving from phase 1 to phase 2 to now resuming.
No, I don't. I said it quite like that. I said we work with the time frame that we've been given, and it's debatable whether it's right. But it doesn't matter now. That's the time we've got, so we get on with it, because I don't make those decisions. The only thing that I question is the motives for it, because if we've got a window of opportunity to finish the season, but look, that's all. It's no longer relevant, because our game starts on Saturday. Our season restarts on Saturday. So all that becomes hot air. It's not worth talking about anymore, because I'm not somebody who's in a position to make those decisions. So people make the decisions for whatever reason they feel are relevant or credible. You need to ask the people who make the decisions why they do it and the way that they do it, not me. I'm just...
And pardon the pun, if you will. Pardon the pun, if you will. You said earlier as well that you hoped that football wasn't being used as a political tool or political football. Players were had a go at by government ministers right at the beginning of this pandemic. Yesterday, the culture secretary said that maybe we could have fans in the stadium next season. So could we not have waited? And what was the hurry to come back behind closed doors? Should we not have waited till you can get some fans in the stadium?
Are you asking me a question there? Is it a question?
Yeah.
So what do you want me to, how do you want me to answer that again? Say that again.
Do you think that there was a need to hurry back, or could we have waited if they're already thinking about a time when, in a month or two?
I think there is an argument to say we could have made the preparation time longer to get the possibility of having picking injuries up. I'm not suggesting that we don't start that. I'm suggesting that we could have had a bit longer. But again, it's no longer relevant, because it restarted last night and our game's on Saturday. So that is no longer worth me talking about, to be honest with you. Unless we get loads of injuries, and then I'll really be unhappy.
Final one from me. How can you rekindle the spirit of your last home game, the Liverpool win, this Saturday?
Well, it's going to be difficult without our fans to rekindle the atmosphere. We can't rekindle that atmosphere, but I don't think we've lost anything from being away. We've kept in contact with each other, players-wise, staff have kept in contact. We've had a really good network of support for the players, which has been very important, and likewise for the staff. And I think what collectively is the atmosphere that we create around the working environment. I mean, that sounds a bit corny and what have you, but I think we get the balance right between having a bit of fun and working very hard, and making sure that people fully understand what's expected of them.
Hey, where are you going? Click here for more videos.